Oop, are we live? Okay, we're a little
Yeah,
2 minutes late, 2 minutes late, but it's okay. It's okay. We're here. We're
I
here.
blame. Yeah, I ain't
Oh,
gonna say who I blame.
I blame. We not starting the show up into no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I
Because
don't
how
do it.
many times you be late, dear one, doll baby? Don't
Ooh,
do it.
Whatever.
I miss having my bomb. Okay, so I'm back in my element. It's your boy Darren Green, and this is the TDGS live chat or live panel, whatever's on that thumbnail. Okay, we're here to talk about Insecure
Okay.
season 5, episode 8. How you guys doing? I'm here with ReallyBtv and L Teddy 27 official. How are you guys doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am great. I am coming in just a second on camera, but I'm great.
Good, very, very good. I'm good. You know, I'm home officially. I've haven't officially moved back home, but I moved the rest of my stuff this Saturday. But your boy is about to graduate. You get what I'm
Woo
saying? It's
woo!
over.
Come
Congratulations.
on now. Come on. Congratulations.
Yes, and this live almost didn't happen because like I'm from Jersey, so like NJ Transit was acting like it wasn't trying to take me home. I'm like, where's the trains to Trenton? Like, what's going on? But I'm here. I made it. I'm in one piece, and I'm in my element because I'm in my room with my ring light and my TV. I'm just so happy. I'm about to watch a lot of shows when I get off this dang live. Okay. Well, actually, no, I got to study for this math final. Anyway, we're talking about, like I said, we're talking about Insecure, episode 8. What's your thoughts? Let's see, 1 out of 10. What are you giving this?
You talking to me or El Teddy?
Anybody?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I was saying we were off camera. I would say an 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty good. I definitely see where they're taking us, to end this thing, close this thing out. I see what the direction we're going in.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a solid 7.2.
7.2.
Well, look, I would be lying if I said I didn't agree. I give it a 7.4. I think it was good. It wasn't the best. Definitely some elements in there that were interesting. We'll get into it when we get into it, but let's timeline it. So it starts off with Issa and Nathan. They're like, in the bed. They're waking up. We got a little we got a little sneaky peeky of Mr. Nathan. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah. They gave y'all
a
little something of Nathan this week. Yeah.
Maybe I am a Nathan stan. Let me see.
All they showed us was his booty, but we've been seeing his booty. Remember, he got naked from the beginning. Remember this in the pool?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Right, but we didn't see too much though. I mean, we got like a couple seconds. Anyway, they were talking in the bed. They were talking about potentially moving in together, which I was like,
listen,
no.
As much as I don't want any parts of them together, I would be way more comfortable with them together than seeing her and Lawrence get back together.
Boo.
So you don't want to see? Oh,
boo.
Wow. Because a lot of people. I didn't go live, but I was on one of my mutuals on TikTok live. A lot of people want Issa to go back with Lawrence.
Yeah,
I've seen that. I've seen a lot of that. Like people are clamoring for them to be back together, and I'm like,
people like me.
Oh, okay, really B. Well, why? What's going on with that?
I just want them back together. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's like that full circle moment for me. Like that's where I want her. Like they function in their dysfunction together. Like I really think that's who. I think that's who it is.
It's just something about Issa and Nathan's relationship that just comes off very like they're trying to be pitch perfect and they're not really saying what they need to say to each other. And I think it's more on Issa's side because I feel like Nathan is being very we've seen some development here.
Nathan has developed. I think Nathan is being more honest and forthcoming than Issa, but my thing about it is I guess we'll get there at the end. I don't want to ruin what I'm gonna say at the end, but
right.
Issa is gonna Issa. I'm just gonna put it like that. Issa is gonna Issa.
She's going Issa, and that's and I already kind of see it when she was kind of hesitant of moving in, and then she was like, "All right, well, let's do it." I'm like, okay,
a mess, a whole mess.
Well, after that, I think that's when we got into Issa's block event. Like she had an event with like the arts and stuff.
The art walk, yeah.
The art walk, yeah.
Now, I felt like, and maybe I just wasn't paying close enough attention because I didn't know that we had gotten to the point where we knew the art walk or whatever this was secured, or maybe I just wasn't paying enough attention. Because
last week she said it last week when she kind of threw it out there last week when they had to reschedule the spa day, and Molly was like, "Yeah, as long as it's not on such and such day," and Issa said, "And as long as it's not when my art walk is." So we knew the art walk was happening.
Okay.
Threw it out. I mean, they didn't make a big deal about it, but they kind of threw it out there last week that it was happening.
Okay, and like you said, it was a lot going on last week, so I probably didn't pay attention to it because of everything else that bothered my spirit.
I mean, but I don't remember that being I thought this was like really sporadic, like out of nowhere. I mean,
I did too. For me, it was just like we had an art walk. Not like.
Well, remember when she went to go meet with the collective, and that's when they didn't. That's when she went to go meet to talk to them to be a part of the art walk. And that's when they were like, "Well, yeah, oh yeah, you Crenshaw," and that's when they were kind of like flaking on her. But the art walk was already happening. She just wanted them to be a part of it.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
We got to see Issa's brother again.
Yeah, love Issa's brother because him and Kelly.
What is going on between him and Kelly? They always get into it
like that's from season 1. They haven't
season 1.
Way back to season 1. But Amal always got a cute dude. You saw the cute dude he walked off with, where he walked off, and you saw him. You had to really get into it. He's so cute to me. I love me some Amal.
No, it's very refreshing to see the old characters. I want to see a lot of things come full circle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Molly and Torian are taking things
serious. An Amal spinoff. That's what I want. An Amal spinoff.
You said a Molly spinoff?
And Amal spinoff.
Hey, Masked Singer fan.
Okay. All right. I see it. We also find out that Molly and Torian is taking things a little serious. They're starting the date.
Right, taking out on a date.
I said this the other episode. I love this relationship that's starting to grow and blossom. I think this is what Molly needs. This is not like any other person that she's been with.
But you know what? I think Torian still checks all the boxes. Like Torian has the career. Torian has the pedigree that she kind of likes. Only thing I'm waiting on is to see where he is in bed. That is still up, and we don't know whether or not he's going to be able to match her in terms of what she needs sexually.
Well, you can't have it all. Look, he got enough.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that could be a deal breaker for Molly. Y'all know Molly like her back blown out.
Oh,
well, this is one of those things where if this weren't the final season, I'd be like, yeah, that could be something. But I think I just think they're giving us happy endings, so I think that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think yeah, it's only 2 more episodes. I mean, I feel like it's gonna fall into them being like, oh, let's figure this out and this and third. Like I don't feel like it might have some steam during the sequences, but like let's really think about it. We got like what?
But I do see people starting to complain about y'all got 2 more episodes and y'all gonna just wrap all this up into like a lot of people.
A whole hour left.
That it's just
right, exactly.
It's just way too much for 2 more 30-minute episodes. What are we talking about here? So
I don't know. And then certain things, and this is where I like kind of scale back from the show because I'm like, now Crenshaw comes out of nowhere and is changing his mind.
That's the thing.
I'm like,
that's the thing for me from where I'm sitting, y'all. And I say this in my review. This is another one of those. If it weren't the end of the show, I would definitely. I'm side-eyeing that. Him coming out of nowhere, and then his insistence, Like he wouldn't let up. It was like, Issa, really, 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 really. I need. It's almost like somebody told him, "Well, we're not gonna work with you unless you're working with Issa." Like it was just weird.
Yeah. And if that was the case, can we see it? There's too much off-camera shit going on with this season. Like
exactly.
Maybe a scene of him like talking to somebody, one of his peoples, and was like him ragging on Issa, and then somebody, getting his senses together, like, Issa really put you on, like somebody checking him or something like that, and then make him think like, oh, now I feel bad, let me go talk to Issa. No, you just came out of nowhere, and it would have made more sense, and I don't mean to jump into the future, had Issa got this deal and he found out, and then he tried to, trying to be like, oh, she got funded now, so let me just try to piece things up with her. No, he just came out of nowhere, like you just miraculously like felt better. I don't know.
And that's I agree. One conversation that we could have seen Crenshaw have one conversation, and because he said it to her, I didn't even realize, I tried to do it on my own, and you need to get permits for this and permits for that. But to me, that just rings ridiculous. Like you didn't know that all of that went into, like, come on, like you didn't know.
And my thing, well, I can believe that he didn't know. I think that he underestimated all of the logistical things that go, because he's so enthralled in my art and everything that encompasses, not knowing that there's a lot of logistical things and administrative things going on behind the scenes. And so my thing is, nigga, you went out here and just straight up embarrassed her in front of the entirety of your employee staff.
Right. All over Instagram.
Whole ass moment. You created hashtags and all kinds of, like,
you tried to ruin her business.
Right.
I wouldn't even give him the time. Like I told y'all, when she went to him with the cupcakes or brownies or whatever the fuck, I was mad at her with that.
I agree. Well, I told you, listen, I agree with you on that too. Yeah. Like you legit tried to ruin her business. And my thing is, how about before you come, because I'm all about you come to me
and apologize.
You apologize the same way you disrespected me. So his first stop should have been Twitter.
Right.
Then you come and find me. Yeah. Or simultaneously or something.
You like, pulling up my events and stuff like
that. Even if he would have came to her before the art show event and said, you know what? I see it. I apologize. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to promote your art show and I'm going to bring my people there. Don't even worry about us getting paid. Don't even worry about all that. This on me, because I tried to, ruin you, or I tried to mess up what. And so I'm doing this as an olive branch to let you know I'm serious about this. But bruh, you just rolling on me after I done had a successful event, and you probably was there in the bushes watching how successful my event was. And now you see, and now you're gonna roll up on me like, oh yeah, I need you. Nah, bruh. Nah, I'm good.
Like, nah. Not clout chasing. Like you should have had your thoughts, and you went that way, and you shunned me, and you did all that on Twitter, and now you crawling back. Now it seemed like Issa is not. I mean, did she? Because some things happened after, like, we found out that she actually got the funding from NBW, and that's when we get into the first dream sequence, or however you call it,
right?
And it shows like her going into the future. Now, see, these goddamn sequences that be happening, it needs to be like this, because I'm starting to think like, oh, okay, so they time jump, because like I know you guys were saying like, oh, maybe they're gonna time jump within like an episode or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, maybe things.
Yeah, I thought it was a time jump at first too.
Yeah, it does end up being a little too long. I'm like, wait a minute now.
I'm like, okay,
too long.
But it was too much. Yeah, and then we go back to reality, and it's like, oh, okay, that didn't happen. Like. Yeah, it's. I mean, do you know who was working this episode? Who was directing it?
I didn't pay attention, so
I didn't know who directed this episode. But I will say, the part that I thought was real time was when they, and y'all let me know, is when they started off at the theater. and she was like, "Oh, it sees like 400," at the beginning. So I thought that was real time, and then I thought that's when it kind of went to, the time though. But I don't know. But my point being, I think at that point I was already disgusted the fact that she entertained Crenshaw. So I was side-eyeing everything from that point on, and I was just like
it just seemed like now Issa, now baby gonna have to have a backbone. We know Issa never really kind of did. I mean, she did in certain instances. This is a man too. At some point it's gonna have to come to the thing like, Nathan, I'm gonna need you to check it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna need you to check him because he a little too reckless, especially when that whole tweeting situation was happening. But I get it; they weren't really officially together. But I don't know. Issa, yeah, she does seem a little forgiving. We don't know if she's going through with the.
You know what else? We didn't get any backstory on Nathan, the cousin, just automatically just being okay now. Like, how did he reconcile? Because the last time we saw Nathan and the cousin, he's on the side of a cliff having whole meltdowns and breakdowns about what the cousin said to him. And now y'all just hunky-dory, everything's good.
Right, because the conversation needed, because again, like I said at the time, the conversation needs to be had to say, listen, I hear you and your concern is valid, but here's what I need you to know. I've gotten help. I'm on medication. I've been diagnosed. Like, what you saw wasn't me just being reckless and just being stupid. Like, what you saw was mental illness that I've gotten help for. And that's the conversation that's missing. And again, they could have just as easily had that conversation that night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. It's so many. I just feel like it's a lot of missed opportunities.
We need hour-long shows for a show like this. Like, you cannot cover everything in 30 minutes.
But here's the thing, even with an hour-long show, I think it was negligent. We talked about in the first couple episodes how they were opening up all of these new
plots. Right,
in the last season.
Exactly.
Even with hour-long episodes, y'all had enough that even if it were hour-long episodes, a lot of that stuff needed to be flushed out to get us to some finality. And then y'all went and said, okay, well, fuck that. We just going to introduce new.
Right, because we spent a whole episode on Molly's mom that was unnecessary. It was totally unnecessary to bring that whole storyline in there. It was totally unnecessary to open up the door to Nathan's past family trauma. Like, that's not a you didn't have to tie up that loose end. You know what I mean?
You're not going to expound on it with the whole Nathan thing.
And you don't have time to really flesh it out the way it needs to be fleshed out.
And we had to bleed over to this episode because we see Molly and Kelly went over Molly's parents' house to talk about like them discussing them making this will. Good family moment, I would say. It was good to see, like, Molly's brothers acting, it's a difficult conversation to have with your parents,
Right. And again, they could have had the same situation without the whole episode of her mom being in a coma. You know what I mean?
Now, the one part I did love that they introduced was the younger brother and the fact that he was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm just going to go get some tea. Oh, we ain't had no tea. I don't even know if we did have tea. I'm just going to go buy some tea because I don't want to. Because you do have people that are genuinely like that. They're like, I don't like this kind of tea. I don't like talking about this kind of stuff. And I love that they introduced him and that part into it, because you do have somebody who fits into that role. Somebody's got to be the Molly and somebody's got to be the older brother. And then there is that awkward one that's like, no, I don't want no parts. Nope.
But it just shows you how each sibling reacts to the situation. Either they're trying to like ignore it or try to escape it because they don't want to think about their parents potentially dying. Like, and my grandma like to tell me this all the time. She's like, well, when I passed, you got my car. I'm like, I don't want to think about it. Like, I don't want to think about that. Like, I'm like, what you talking about, grandma? Like, you gonna live forever. You get what I'm saying? Like, you really don't want to. It was a good moment and it was real. I like
it was really real. And even what her father said, I thought was valid to say, listen, I don't even want to look at, we had to dip into my 401k when your mom got sick, and we did this and we did that, and I hate even thinking about what I don't have to leave to y'all. That's valid. He was like,
I said on my review that, and I said on my review is, I think that even with that, he can take solace in the fact that I have children who are well off enough to where if I don't have anything a lot to give, they got it. You know what I mean? They're not sitting around depending on, when mom and dad, I need that, they have, done well enough as parents to raise children that they're in a good place. And even if the dad say, I don't got nothing, the first thing should have been out their mouth, Molly mouth was, you don't need to have nothing, dad. Don't worry about nothing because we got this and we got you. And it ain't, it wasn't the name of the place where, it was We Got Y'all. Where
right, We Got Y'all.
We got y'all.
Right.
But I think that that's a part of the conversation too. And that, they had done that well as parents. And so that's also another thing that should be highlighted, because so many times we have spotlights on the bad stuff about our community as Black people and stuff like that. And that was a moment to say, nah, but still, these parents did right by their kids. And you see the fruits of their labor in how their kids, have.
They did the best that they can do. And we've seen that the parent, like, I think the father was like a little frustrated because he felt like he didn't leave much to the kids. But yeah, like you said, they got it. Most of them, they got it. Molly definitely, she's doing well. Also, there was something else. They brought Kelly on there because I guess Kelly works in the bank, so she's probably like coddling them and telling them, hey, it's tough, but we got to get through it. Also, let me see if we're on schedule, child. Like I said, good family moment. Now, Issa meets with Crenshaw, and this is where we see him like continuing to like work with me. We got all this, he had all these big ideas, right? And this is when Issa goes into another dream thing where in this time, this is her taking, working with him. Firstly, like I said, sequences are too long. However, I do like that this episode, and this is one thing that I do like about the episode, is that it's giving you like an alternate reality almost. Like it's almost like two different ways. Like, Issa went without Crenshaw, and then Issa went with it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's giving you two options or two ways, outcomes that this could have panned out, which I think is interesting to watch. But something weird happens there in that second sequence. Okay.
Yeah.
And she's back home, and originally she sees Nathan, but then Nathan turns into Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Nathan went around the corner and Lawrence came around the other corner.
Right.
And
the thing I didn't like about the dream sequences was that it almost seemed like they were saying you have to choose one or the other. And if you decide to take the sponsorship and go with the money, then you're going to end up being a sellout and get away from the original mission. And you're going to not be in your neighborhood anymore doing what you originally planned to do. Whereas if you go with Crenshaw, it's going to keep, you're going to keep your street cred. I didn't like that dynamic because it's almost like, so if I start a company and I make the decision that's going to put my company in a financially stable place, that means I'm going to end up selling out. Like, I don't know. I didn't like, and I mean, Molly said later on in the episode, you don't have to choose one or the other, but that's what those dream sequence kind of did for me. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah. But yeah, the whole Lawrence thing, once again, it says to me that if you decide to go the route of the sponsorship, does that mean you're going to be happy with Nathan and Lawrence isn't going to be a concern? But if you decide to go this way, Lawrence is still going to be on your mind, like, because Lawrence wasn't in both of them. I thought that was weird.
Right.
My thing about it is, I'm in total agreement with you, Really B, because I just kept thinking, okay, couldn't you just incorporate Crenshaw into what you're doing with MBW? Like, I don't see why that had to be her working with Crenshaw, had to be her not working with MBW. Like, I didn't understand that. And so I just thought that was like, huh? And is this my time to go into my meltdown about the Lawrence situation?
I mean, do you?
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's
because here's where I'm at. So we saw in this dream sequence, Lawrence came around the corner, and then she had the whole conversation with her alter ego or herself in the mirror about, hey, you the one having the dreams about Lawrence, and you don't know who you mad at. And then, now I know I was not the only, I think all of the collective that watches this show across the fruited plains thought at the end of this episode, when, what did he say to her? I just want you to, he said, I just want you to be okay. Or he said, I wrote it down. Hold on. He said, I wrote it down. Hold on. I got my note right here. I just want you to be happy. And you saw her look, and when he came around the corner, she just knew that was going to be Lawrence. And I thought she was going to do like Issa normally does, which is take this horrible time, a horrible moment, and say, you know what, Nathan, this ain't gonna work out. I can't be with you, Mo. We gotta go. Like, I just knew, I had already prepared myself. I had done clenched my booty muscles waiting for that to happen because I knew it was gonna happen. Okay,
but it ain't gonna happen anyway.
It is gonna happen, but it would have been so Issa of her to do it right then and there, just out of nowhere, because she always does it like just spot out of nowhere or at the most inopportune moments where you sitting there like, what?
I feel like she's gonna wait. She's gonna wait until they get into a little argument, and then be like, you know what? I'm rethinking this. Bye. Let me go back to Lawrence.
Like that. But if she did that, that wouldn't be Issa. Issa doesn't do it like when you expect her to do it in an argument or something like that. She does it at these most inopportune times, like when shit is going good and everything is fine, and then she in her head they say, "Oh, I can't do this," and you looking like
what? I done moved in.
Wait, huh? I done, canceled my lease and moved all my shit over here. Fuck you mean?
Right. She would do it at a time like that where like I literally just moved out of my apartment and signed a lease with you. Like now's when you make up your mind. Like now's when you decide this isn't working for you.
Hell, has it been 3 months? You can't kick me out.
And then the other thing that I wanted to introduce is if I'm Lawrence and find out that she turned down, because we know Lawrence has a good paying job at this point. Even if he moved to LA, I don't believe that Lawrence would move to LA knowing he got a whole ass child without taking another job that would, have him.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Right. And so I'm Lawrence and I'm seeing, so you just coming over to me. I would side eye thinking that it's not just because you love me like that. It might be because financially it's going to allow you the opportunity to do all of that stuff and say no to MVW while over there just frolicking around with the Crenshawns of the world. I don't know. I just.
I must say I didn't go down that road, but okay.
Yeah,
my brain goes down horrible roads.
People, you saying you insinuating that Crenshaw and Issa? Because
no, I'm insinuating that Issa gonna be broke because she's still staying at that goddamn apartment. Because remember he said, Trina say her toilet stopped up or something like that. Remember when she came in the dream sequence?
Right, she was like, "Why haven't we moved?"
Right, because meaning she ain't got no goddamn money, and if you over here choosing Lawrence, I'm looking at Lawrence. If I'm Lawrence, I'm looking at her like, I'm not your cash cow, and you're not gonna play with my emotions no more because you're broke.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything dealing with the finances.
I mean, if she does come, because we all know she has to make a decision. Is there a way to take the deal and also do like another collaboration with?
I think there's a way to do both.
That's what I thought.
Like compromise, because it's like, I want my business to thrive. I mean, I want to, shout out to the people, like, power to, helping out and helping the community and stuff like that. But I'm trying to eat.
Speaking of butt muscles clenching or my booty hole clenching.
Oh Lord.
Somebody to be like Torian and just send me DoorDash with some wine and wings when I'm going through it. I cancel the date, but you still sent me wine and wings anyway. I thought that was so cute. I was like,
I loved it. And what I loved about it was that he respected her boundary while still letting her know I'm here.
He didn't force himself.
Right. Like he didn't knock at the door and was like, I got some wings and wine. He was like, I'm gonna send you a little care package and you know that if you need me, I'm here, and if you call, I'm on my way.
All right.
But I don't want you to feel like I'm pressuring you. But here you go, boo, because you had a bad day. See, that's the kind of shit that I'm talking about.
And that's why I love Torian.
I need to be a Torian.
That's what.
Now, you don't get every other Torian I've ever met or ever known about in my life, but I'm here for a Torian. I'm
here for one too. I like this. I like look.
Right. Because when it was a knock at the door, I thought it was going to be him, but I love the fact that it wasn't him. And then he just sent her the text saying, you know, everything goes
everything. I was like, yeah.
This is, and I feel like I have because I remember him being a little snarky when we first like met him, but like I feel like him and Molly are very similar.
Right. But remember, he explained that when they were at the thing, he said last year when I was, you know, I was going through what I was going through with my brother when I was coming off a little nasty. So I think that what we saw last season with him, I don't think that's who he is. I think that was the under pressure, worried about my brother, keeping it to myself, trying to maintain the status quo. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get. I hear what you're saying. And see, a lot of people. Hey, how you doing? A lot of people. I don't know. I like when people are like similar, not too much alike, because you know that could be clashing too. But like I can see, I just see it. I see something.
I think it just depends on the person, because some people do like people that are similar to them. Some people like very much the opposites attract. Like I'm very much on the opposite attracts kind of thing. I don't need somebody like me because I think I'm a bit much. And if it was too
you think you're a bit much?
I ask you for all that, boo. Boo boo. Boo boo.
You are a bit much. There's no thing.
I ain't asking for all that.
First of all, really, we got the same phone. What's going on? Hey, it's got a new iPhone. But yeah.
But I think him and Molly have. I think him and Molly have enough alike that they'll respect each other's boundaries. Like I don't think Torian is ever going to have an issue with Molly saying, "Hey, I got to work late. I got this big case." You know what I'm saying? I think he'll understand. But I also think because they do, it is a genuine connection, or at least we're seeing that it's a genuine connection.
Yeah.
That they'll make the time.
And I feel like if he can't really sling peen like the rest, like the other dudes, you know, you got to make it work. You know, you got to compromise with certain things. You know, I think he does. Like you people will surprise you.
You're right. I'm hoping. I'm not saying that he does that. I'm just saying that's the only check we haven't checked off yet. That's the only box we haven't checked off yet. Once we check that box off, I'm here for it. Go ahead.
Let's
they want to say.
I want her to get Issa stupid. Okay, I want like move in. Let me.
Sex will end a relationship. We've seen it time and time again. People don't admit it, but it absolutely will.
Excuse me.
I feel like sex isn't everything though. Like maybe just
it's not everything, but it is a thing.
Yeah, I'm just the type of person. I'm
gonna be honest with y'all. I'm gonna be honest.
What?
I've never been in a relationship with somebody where sex ended the relationship. Now, because I feel like when there are feelings involved, there's a different critical eye because there's emotions involved. Now, once I've broken up with somebody,
you do make exceptions, and you do kind of.
Right. Now, once I've broken up with somebody, and the feelings sort of erode, and I don't feel the way I felt. Then I could be like, and you wasn't shit in bed. You know what I'm saying?
And here's what ends up happening, because I've been in those situations, and what ends up happening is you're right in the beginning because there's feelings and emotions and so forth involved. But after you're with somebody for a certain amount of time, inevitably the rose-colored glasses come off, and you be like, listen, I'm just not being satisfied. I'm just not. And all of the things that you do for me emotionally, I have best friends that do that as well.
Oh,
and I need you to fulfill my, needs physically where my friends can't. I'm just being honest. And if you get like,
oh well, all right.
You end up cheating.
Everybody,
that is how people end up cheating. Yeah.
That is people end up
cheating, but shouldn't be the reason though, because I think in the relationship, don't cheat on me. Just tell me, look, I don't want you no more. Fine. Don't have me out here looking crazy. I think, me. I think to each his own. Different strokes for different folks. I'm definitely more into intimacy and relationship building. I feel like you can work into having good sex. Like I've talked to a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm not really getting it that good with the person that I'm with," and then they try and then they talk to their partner and tell them, "Hey, do this, don't do that," and it gets better. So I think every situation is different. Everybody different. You know what I'm saying? Like some people want it the way they want it, and if they don't want it, they got to move on. That's just that person. But Molly, this the one, and I want to see it. I want to see it.
I'm not going to necessarily say this is the one because, like I said, the only reason I'm going to say that is it's just like anything. You have a gestation period where you got the honeymoon phase. Y'all, got pheromones, in the air, flying in the air, feelings, emotions, and all kinds of stuff. So everything is going to be rose-colored glasses. Talk to me after a year or two where you done did it in every position imaginable. Y'all done went to every place y'all thought y'all wanted to go, and y'all done did everything. And now can you still stand each other?
Okay.
I'm just saying. My grandma used to always have a saying, baby, if they went through a whole leap year with you or election cycle with you, you'll know them yet.
I always said that I always said that I would never marry someone until we celebrated all 4 seasons, and 2 had a huge argument. I don't mean a little cute disagreement. I mean a fuck you kind of fight. Because I need to know how you really act. You know what I'm saying?
And not even just that. I want to know how you're gonna how we can fix this. Because if you just gonna walk away,
right. How do you deal with conflict resolution?
Right. I need to know whether you're gonna put your paws on somebody. I need to know all of that. I need to know all of that.
Let me clarify, because when I said he's the one, I didn't mean like the one as in, oh, let's get married and this, that, and third. I meant like the one, a relationship, a full-fledged boyfriend-girlfriend relationship for a certain time until we can think about getting to that point. Let me just clear that up. But yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need to know. I need to know how you act when we get into an argument.
What your friends are like. Let's be clear. I watch people's friends sometimes harder than I watch the person, because that gives me a lot of the body language of the friends when the person I'm with is saying something, and if they're lying, one of their friends will give it away. Like I'm looking at body language, eyes, facial expressions. When you say such and such, and a friend looking crazy, and I'm like, take a note of that. Take a note of that. The other thing I'm gonna say is, we've seen Molly have good men before. Like, what was wrong with what was Asian Bay, Hispanic Bay, whatever he was, Andrew, Asian Bay.
No, I didn't like.
Well, Andrew got mad at her because of the whole Issa thing, and he was like, "You just can't let shit go." Remember, he got mad at her about just not letting it. Like, why can't you just let it go? And she was like, "Because I'm right and she's wrong." And he was like, "Do you? Oh, you remember that was their big thing." Well, it was the other normal,
that, and a combination of that trip,
and work,
and so forth.
Oh, and the trip.
That trip. I'm not gonna say necessarily it was work, because I think work was an excuse that Molly made because she was having her own issues with him. But that trip was telling for her. That was one of them situations, like you said, ReallyB, where you say, I need to see us go through such and such. That trip told him a lot that he needed.
You know what? Maybe I'll add that to my list of things I need to do before maybe traveling.
What aspect? Yeah, of course. What aspect do you mean about the trip? Because what I found was very annoying of him and his little peoples or whatever. It was when they were like, "Oh, it was some kind of microaggression about race or something like that," and she was like,
"The towel." When she went to go get a towel at the pool, and they wanted to see her ID to prove she was staying at the hotel, but when the white guy came up behind her, they didn't ask him for ID, and she was like, "Whoa, wait a minute."
Now look at that moment right there, because there was a lot of microaggressions going on right there. Far as this is a mixed couple. Imagine them being married. Like, you probably got to deal with that. And that's why I'm very wary of like dating outside the race, and I don't want to sound a certain way, but I'm just saying.
Well, listen, really, I have a sugar spike real fast. So,
but that's a valid conversation. My best friend is married to a white guy, and that is a very valid conversation that you have to have.
I think that was always an underlying thing in her head, which is why I always felt like sometimes when she would say it was work, it wasn't work. And I think that was always something in the back of her mind that she was grappling with, whether or not she could, be with somebody. And I think that going out of town kind of let both of them know where they were with each other. It let her know where she was with him, and it let him know where he was with her, and where she, and where she was with him, and vice versa. I think, because I really think that always, because remember, she kind of, in the beginning, she kind of was real leery about letting people know that they were together or whatever. If you remember in the beginning, remember when, didn't she Uber, separate from him or something like that when they had that party at Issa's place?
I don't remember.
Party at Issa's place when Issa was trying to get people to, remember, she was trying to start her thing, and she was trying to solicit, people to sponsor her business or whatever. And I think Molly and him came there together, and then they had an argument or something. She Ubered by herself or something. Like, I remember it was last year. Y'all know my mind. But I don't know. But anyway, Nathan, you better run. Nathan, this is not going to end well.
Next week. Next week. My thing is, now, here's my thing. He was with Kaduka. So what you mad about? Cause he there. It's messy, and a lot of people say it's going to get to. Now, I don't want to see a feud between Nathan and Lawrence, because I feel like I just don't want to see that. But
I don't want to see Nathan with Kangaline hair either. So
y'all know how I feel about
it. How you feel?
Y'all know I'm not here for that shit.
You're not here for what shit?
For calendar.
Not calendar. I mean, what's she gonna do? She just been sitting in a dancer in distress, child. She ain't doing that. Well, I mean, I'm probably hyping up this party like it's going to actually pop off, but I think it's probably
what party.
Ain't the next episode there's supposed to be some kind of like going away party for Tiffany or something like that, and or it was something.
I watched the little promo. I don't remember. You might
remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it was something with Tiffany, and like I think Nathan went away and was like, "Yo, I don't know how I feel about Lawrence up in here and this and that and the third." But like, he was with Condola, so like, what you worried about? Well, he's still kind of insecure.
I really feel like if he says something about Lawrence and Lawrence came with Care Bear Countdown, then Issa did something to make him feel some kind of way. Because I don't think Nathan is just gonna say, "Oh, I don't want Nathan and coconut oil here," and Lawrence and coconut oil here, and Lawrence ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Issa is gonna say something or do something that's gonna make him be like, "Nah, bro, I'm not here for this." Maybe I'm wrong.
I think that might be true. I think that might be true. I gotta look at that sneak peek again, but I believe that's what's happening, because it's gotta.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be something that we haven't seen yet that gets him to that point. I do think Issa is gonna say something to Christmas Tree Cakes. I think she's gonna say something to her before it's all
long overdue.
What did she say? Like, what is she gonna say?
You know she got a problem with her. You know that she don't even need a reason to say nothing. It's Issa. She don't need a reason.
Man, look.
I don't know.
I don't think she should be saying nothing either. But she don't need a she have a whole dream sequences and stuff about this woman. Okay.
But that's because but that goes back to the whole Lawrence thing. Like, she don't have no real beef with this woman. Remember, this woman was really helping her. Like, it was Lawrence.
I don't know. I think she probably do got a problem
from the Cadillac car. The problem is Lawrence, and she don't like the fact that she's with Lawrence, and she want to get back with Lawrence. She's in a way. You know how my girl Erykah Badu said, "Getting in the way." No, that was Jill Scott.
I was going to say that is
Come on, Teddy. Let's get it correct. All right,
Scott.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's hopefully I need the shit to hit the fan. I needed to hit the fan and start spreading around in the room. Because
like you said, when you break it down to 2 episodes, I don't know what we're doing in 2 episodes, but
I'm gonna be like, Issa, now you know you could have did better than that.
I do feel like at this point they're gonna have to give us a time jump or something, or at the end of the last episode, maybe the last 10 minutes, give us a future montage time jump.
Give us a movie.
So a movie? I don't know. I think she's done with it. I think Issa Rae is moving on. I think she's done with these characters. I think she's done with it.
What I'm afraid of, and we can talk about this when we do our final review after the series finale, and we can, surmise the whole series. I do kind of feel like I don't know if I don't want this to be her peak. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see some people, how they have a show that becomes iconic, and then that's just their peak, and they never have anything that even comes close to that.
Right. I mean, because I'm looking at the lineup of her other stuff. I'm like,
yeah, because some of the other stuff she's done, I've been like, I'm
gonna check it out, but
like, isn't she executive producer of that sketch comedy show with all of the black females?
Yeah, she's an executive producer of that. And remember, she's got that whole deal with Netflix, right? Doesn't she have a deal with Netflix?
HBO.
Oh, is it HBO?
Yeah, because she's on HBO Max.
She got to deal with HBO.
Well, how y'all been watching it? Y'all been watching it on TV?
HBO.
No. The sketch comedy show?
No, I'm just saying, how y'all been watching the series? Have y'all been watching it on like?
I have.
I've been watching it on HBO.
I took the cord a long time ago. I have ways and means of which.
Well, all right.
Yeah, no, I've been watching it on HBO, but just because I knew Insecure was on HBO, but I didn't know. I forgot who her new deal was.
Yeah, it was a new deal. I also have AT&T, and you get free HBO with AT&T.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, period. Really? Hold on, wait a minute. I'm about to call my mom because she got AT&T.
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, I mean, I think I say this every episode. I say this every week. I'm like, I have high hopes. I'm still holding in that these last 2 episodes it's gonna be stellar. It's gonna be a movie. Okay. But we will definitely keep you posted on that. Is there anything else you want to say about the show? Anything? I think we done covered everything.
Yeah, because I'm glad I didn't have a whole meltdown about the Crenshaw situation, because I thought that was going to take me there when I did my review. But that did. But I already told y'all, at the moment that her and Lawrence get back together, y'all might as well, at a certain point when we come on here, just give me about 10 minutes. Just go ahead. You can just turn your camera off and be like, go ahead, Elton, you got it.
Go ahead. Let me turn my down. I think it's going to happen because fans love Issa and Lawrence. Issa and Lawrence, that was that dynamic, even though it was toxic, because a lot of people was getting them, because I want them to go back together. Hell, that's just my opinion. A lot of people say y'all love toxicity. Y'all. Look, I mean, here's the thing. What they had, it just, to me, compared to everybody else you've been with, it just worked. Even though it didn't work, it worked.
But in real life, in so many relationships, it is what you, like you said, had. And what happens is time and time again, people keep trying to go back down that road or get back what they had, knowing you're different people now. You're not in the same place. It's never going to be what it was. And you're just not destined to be with each other anymore. You've grown apart. That time apart allows you to grow, but you've grown apart.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, I still I'm holding on, so I don't know how this is going to pan out, because maybe in the next episode we'll see a side of Lawrence that Issa's like, oh, well, you didn't change. Never mind. I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens when we get to that damn party, child.
Now,
we will see.
I'm a card carrier member of the Lawrence Hive. They have been giving us only good stuff about Lawrence this season. Like, we haven't seen the other side, a lot of the other side of Lawrence that made some people not really care for Lawrence either. You know.
Oh, Lawrence is no saint. Now, let's be clear.
Oh,
Lawrence,
I know that. I know that.
Him.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They haven't given us a lot of that this season. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
What do you think, ReallyB?
About what?
Everything.
I mean, overall, I'm gonna just say this, and I'll wait. I may be premature in saying this, but overall, I just think that I'm disappointed overall with what they did. I think they went into this like it was a regular season, and it makes me wonder, and I know we already had this conversation, but it really makes me wonder if they had already had certain things planned and refused to divert from them, knowing it was their final season. Because there's certain things that I just think that little things would change. Like we said, one conversation with Crenshaw, seeing somebody tell him, hey, you know, you need to do this and do that. And him realizing, oh shit, Issa really did do a lot. One conversation, you know, in those first couple of episodes, it was like little conversations we said, if we saw that, if we saw this, it would have just made things. It is not major stuff that we're saying here. So I don't know. I'm a little disappointed so far. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm just looking forward to how many more names ReallyB can come up with for Cocaine Cowboys.
Not Cocaine Cowboys.
Because y'all call that woman every name under the sun.
No, sir. No.
She's gonna be typecasted. Like, she's gonna be in other films and people gonna still call her. What they gonna every new character she become, they're gonna name her something different.
I have not done that. That would be him. Him right there.
Oh, so you ain't had nothing to do with this, right? You, ma'am?
Nope. I call that woman by her name every time.
I do too, because look, if I don't, I'm gonna forget who she is, because certain characters I just be forgetting about.
I call Cookbook by her name every time.
I really do love this panel. Like, we're gonna have to find another show pronto.
Right.
I see you watch chasing reality shows, because I seen you on Twitter.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about you do too? Oh, okay. I was really talking to El Teddy, but okay, yeah.
I watch them.
He said, I watch.
Listen, we can do Chasing Atlanta. Chasing Atlanta is coming back.
I probably will watch Chasing Atlanta. I probably won't review it.
Well, you can do the panel.
Yeah, I can do the panel. We can do the panel. Yeah,
that'll be cool. If y'all want to do that, I'm definitely down for that.
I hate that I might not review it, because I look forward to doing Dominique thumbnails. Like, Dominique being the inspiration for thumbnails gave me everything that I needed last season. I hate that I can't do.
Did y'all watch Chasing LA? Because actually, before I met all of y'all, I think it was before. Yeah, it was before we started doing lives and stuff like that. Me and my co-host was actually interviewing the cast.
Oh, y'all did?
Yeah, so that's kind of like my first franchise into this whole network, because
I reviewed Chasing LA. I don't think I finished the season because I just Dallas, too much for me.
Atlanta. Did we do anybody from Chasing LA, ReallyB? I don't think we did anybody from Chasing LA. I don't remember.
I don't think we did. No, we did Hershey LaCour. We interviewed Hershey LaCour.
We did.
We interviewed Hershey LaCour, and we interviewed somebody else. I think we did 2 people from Chasing LA. I know we did Hershey LaCour.
Now, Rachel has come on my channel. Rachel, who's one of the producers and one of the cameramen.
Yeah, Rachel. We talked to Rachel a couple of times.
We talked to Rachel a couple of times.
I think our first person was the creator of the show,
Quentin
Harris. Yep,
yeah,
it was a good interview. We actually
I
had.
know they're doing a season 2, so
They
maybe we
are.
can.
Yeah,
I'm almost certain. I'm almost certain. Now I don't know who's coming back, but I'm almost certain they're doing a season 2. Did we do Quan? No, we didn't do Quan. I feel like we did somebody else. I just don't
I
know
feel
who.
like we did somebody else too. I think was it Quan? I
Maybe
don't
it
remember.
was Quan.
I can't
It might have
remember.
been Quan the poet, but I know we did Hershey LaCour because I mean we all loved Hershey, and I think that was the first one we did with Hershey.
I wish we had more
Because
scenes.
see, Abby was following Hershey on TikTok even before, like when they announced the cast. Abby was like, "I follow Hershey LaCour on TikTok." Like,
yeah, that's how I knew him too. Like, and when I tell you I interviewed him, like we had him on. Like I literally I got starstruck. I ain't never get starstruck in my life. I was like, oh my god,
I
like,
love Hershey LaCour.
I did not.
It was like that was one of our most chill interviews because we were all just so like good at that was probably one of our best interviews because we've interviewed a lot of people and some of our interviews do go side.
Let's do that, y'all. Let's take the holidays off and shit, and let's come back with Chasing.
When is Chasing Atlanta come back?
February? Is it February, March, something like that?
Okay, yeah, I'm a
definitely because we can definitely do the interviews again because I've interviewed Oliver. I've actually interviewed Oliver twice before. I've interviewed Rico, who's a new on he's from the Circle Atlanta. So Rico, I've interviewed him before. And I think we have interviewed, didn't we interview Dominique? We interviewed.
Child, don't make me lie, Child.
I don't know, but we can definitely reach because they listen. I mean, I'm not saying this to be mean, but they're not hard to get interviews with. We just got to link up our schedules. They're usually really, really open. All of them are usually really, really open to being on the show and interviewing. So I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
I know we interviewed Troy. I remember us interviewing Troy.
It was a fun experience. Like every week we had somebody new from that show.
That would be fun. I'm definitely down for it.
Yeah, and it. I don't know. Yeah, I would definitely be down for it too. But let's conclude the show. Thank you so much for listening. Please be sure to tap that subscribe button. This is the Darren Green Show. Be sure to subscribe to L Teddy 27 Official and ReallyBtv. Thank you so much. I love the energy here. We had a great talk. I will see you next time. All right, bye.
Bye.